What's going on, Buffs Nation? Thought I would give you a second video today since we've had some updates with recruiting news since I posted my Bishop Thomas video. And we got another recruit. Reggie Young is coming over here from Liberty, offensive tackle, 6'4", about 290, 295 pounds now. Graduate transfer, so I believe he just has 1 year left of eligibility, but he's another guy that's coming into this tackle room with Savion Washington, Jared Christian Lichtenhan, and he's going to be able to challenge both of them. I'm really interested to see who rises to the top within this competition, but it's great to bring in another graduate transfer. I mean, he's played, I believe, at Northwestern State, at Iowa City Community College. I believe the JUCO was at Liberty last year, so we're excited to have him here, adding more talent, athleticism into the offensive line room. Happy to have him here. Now, with these other recruits, they're going to get their more of their in-depth breakdown individually in videos later this week, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about Rodrick Ward first. This is a safety coming in here at the FCS level, played at Southern Utah in the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference. Yes, it is back. It is back. The WAC is back. And he had a great year last year from the safety position. Over 50 tackles, 52 to be specific, and 4 interceptions. That's not something that you see all the time from safeties. He was second team all WAC, and he's going to be another guy coming in here with a couple years of eligibility left. Speaking of a couple years of eligibility, we do have Jaylen Ellis coming in, 6'3", lots of speed. We're talking about needing height in the receiving room. He's going to bring some height. He's going to bring some more speed. He's going to be exciting to get on the field. And again, adding a lot of depth and competition to this very deep wide receiver room that Coach Prime, Brett Bartolone, and Sean Lewis have been putting together. He only caught 3 passes last year for a little over 150 yards, but that's 150 yards on 3 catches. He was originally committed to go to West Virginia. I'm not sure what happened there, but happy to have him here with the guys that we're bringing in, such as Willie Gaines or Tavarish. Man, why am I forgetting his last name? But you know who I'm talking about. There's been so many guys coming in. He's going to add more depth and competition into this wide receiver room. You got to love that. Lastly, I wanted to hit on the crystal ball. I haven't mentioned this yet. Aaron Butler, he's a wide receiver and cornerback from Calabasas, California, was originally committed to USC, decommitted a little while ago, and Colorado's really been in the mix. His dad played in the NFL for a little bit. He played with Deion Sanders on the Ravens. So as you've seen on Twitter, you know, he's always repping the CU Buffs hat. I think his father really wants him to come play for Coach Prime. And I believe he was here on campus recently as well. 24/7 has him as crystal ball to come to Colorado. There is another reporter, though, on 24/7 that earlier had a crystal ball for him to go to Oregon. Alabama's in the mix, as well as Miami, it looks like. Would love to have him on the team. I think this is a positive sign. Another guy that we're waiting for a commitment for is Jordan Buchanan. He's the son, I believe, of Ray Buchanan, who played cornerback mainly for the Falcons. I remember him in the 98 Super Bowl against the Broncos. I think he was on that team. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he replied to Jordan Buchanan, his photos this weekend at CU, just saying commit. So I'm really hoping we get a commitment from Aaron Butler here at some point. Again, this is a two-way guy, very physical, sure tackler. He can shut you down in press. He's a playmaker on the wide receiver side as well. Great hands. He would be a huge addition and another two-way player that could come and make big plays here for Coach Prime, along with Travis Hunter and Cormani McLean. So that would be exciting. Hopefully we get announcements from them soon. So that about wraps it up. Again, I'm going to dive into these players on a deeper level throughout this week. But overall, wanted to get out there and talk about Reggie Young being here. That's a big addition to the offensive tackle room. And then I also wanted to answer a quick mailbag question from one of our commenters we had last week. Just wanted to talk about my experience at CU. So if you want to stick around for that, here I go. So my time at CU, although I have followed the Buffs, before my time at CU, I was lucky enough to be accepted into their MBA program in 2018. And so I did my graduate schoolwork at CU on campus from 2018 to 2020. It was two of the funnest years of my life. I loved being on campus every day. I went to a smaller school for undergrad, so being able to be a part of all the student life and having student tickets to go to the football games, the tailgates, all of that, it was an incredible experience. I was there for the last year of McIntyre, the first year of Mel Tucker, and so there weren't a lot of games that were core memories outside of the Nebraska games. Those were ones in which it had been 7-8 years, I believe, since we last played Nebraska. Both were huge comebacks by the Buffaloes to get those wins, both in Lincoln and in Boulder. Go back and watch the highlights sometime. And I would say the other thing that I really remember about those times on campus were the performances by Laviska Shenault. He was definitely the funnest player in my mind, or my favorite player at the time. Being on campus for school, seeing him play, he could, of course he was a receiver, but he ran like a running back, and he would take those snaps in the red zone at that Wildcat quarterback position, and he was always somebody when we needed a play, he was always there. I can't remember if it was 2018 or 2019, but when USC came here for a Saturday night game, Laviska balled out. He had a huge game. We were also destroyed by Michael Pittman. He had a huge game. We ended up blowing, I think it was a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter to lose. But that game was also a lot of fun. Hopefully we can actually get our first win against USC this year before they bolt for the Big Ten. But thanks again for asking that question. Overall, I still live near Boulder, so I go there a lot. It's a wonderful place. I love it out here. And those are some of my fondest memories of just being on campus every day. Being in the mountains, the MBA program was fantastic, and I learned a lot, and I enjoyed a lot of good sports and tailgating along the way. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be back tomorrow, and Go Buffs.